they offer me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay.
If I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
That
Yeah,
may
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
So
so
an
let's,
automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good.
but
I
all
mean,
of
an
those things are not true.
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever.
All right, folks, buckle up. Because today we're walking straight into the circus tent that is a sovereign citizen courtroom hearing, and trust me, this one is a mess. So here's the setup. We've got this guy facing multiple charges. Driving. On a suspended license, no valid tag, failure to display a license, you name it, he's got it stacked against him. And instead of taking the easy deal, what does he do? He starts spewing sovereign citizen nonsense like it's gospel truth. The man actually says he wasn't driving, he was traveling. That's his defense. Seriously? It's the same tired script these folks always pull, as if using different words.
Hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I hear you.
So you're before the court on 2019 CR 04954 for driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, failure to display license, or failure to have license on person. I'm not sure, it cuts off, and no tag or expired or invalid tag. So that's on the first case. On the case from 2020 03114, you have a suspended or revoked license. You're represented by Lister and Holt on one of the cases, but not on the other. Did you want Lister and Holt to represent you, or did you want to represent yourself?
I'll represent myself.
On both cases?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question as far as law concern when it comes to driver's license.
Okay.
Okay, you're only allowed to have one driver's license, and I have an Alabama driver's license. So when I get pulled over, I actually show them my Alabama driver's license, and it's current. It's the most current, and so they make a determination if they should go off the Georgia driver's license or the Alabama driver's license. And when I present the Alabama driver's license, they let me go because my Alabama license is valid. And you're only allowed to have one. And I had Alabama license first. So
I
my
believe
Georgia
this sounds
driver's
like
license,
a not guilty.
Okay. So, Mr. Resto, what Mr. Taylor is saying is this is something that you could prove at trial. If you present that information at trial, then that means you want to go to trial instead of taking a plea. I don't know what the recommendation is, and I don't know.
Well, the recommendation was, I think I've been dealing with this case for an awful long time now. So
Yeah.
I don't really want to go to trial. I just want to get it behind me. But I think that I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no, Mr. Resto, it's more.
Magically changes the law. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. But oh no, he's not stopping there. He pulls out a constitutional argument about horse-drawn wagons and automobiles, claiming a car is just a household good. A household good. I mean, come on. That's like saying your refrigerator belongs in rush hour traffic. And here's the part that really gets me. The judge is just sitting there letting him ramble. I don't know if she's being patient or if she's just trying not to laugh out loud, but she's giving him way more rope than I ever would.
No, it's more than that. So the basic fines and fees for driving on a suspended license is the first time in 5 years. If you get one, then you can enter a NOLO plea if you have a NOLO plea eligible to you, and then the fine is $500. But if you get a second one, the fine goes to $1,000. A third one, the fine goes to $1,500 and 10 days mandatory jail time. You have a second one, which means that you might be able to enter a NOLO to the first one, but then the second one is outstanding. So when you took a plea to the second one, that would definitely suspend your license. So that's what's on the table.
Okay, now if I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. So I have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and to make sure that I treat people as the law would direct me to do so. So,
Okay. Well, I asked this question previously when I was in your courtroom one day in regards to the right to travel under the 14th Amendment, stating that citizens do not need a permit to travel with a horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile without interference by police. And I was on a public highway actually when I got pulled over. It was a
okay, so
highway.
that's not actually in the Constitution.
And I
So the
don't
right to
believe
travel, the right
automobiles
to
were
travel.
around when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I just wanted to point out to the court that automobiles hadn't been invented when the 14th Amendment was ratified. That
Yeah,
may have been a fact.
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
So
so
an
Mr.
automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good. It's just a form of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's an automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage, because it's still a form of transportation, and citizens have the right to travel without interference by police. So I don't even know how the police are even allowed to interfere with travel when I'm not using my vehicle for commerce.
Your Honor,
And it's
Hold on, Mr.
totally
Taylor.
private.
Meanwhile, this guy is trying to negotiate his case mid-hearing like he's bargaining at a flea market. He's literally out here asking if the 40 hours of community service is still on the table, while he's also arguing that licenses are unconstitutional. The mental gymnastics? It's unbelievable. And then he tops it all off with a straight face. Automobiles existed before driver's licenses, so licenses don't count. Folks, I nearly fell out of my chair. That's like saying speed limits don't apply because cavemen used to run without them. The prosecutor is doing his best not to burst out laughing, but you can tell even he's struggling to keep a straight face. At this point, I've got to ask you, would you be more like the judge here, calm and patient, or would you cut this off and drop the hammer? Because if I were in that robe, this nonsense wouldn't last more than 30 seconds.
If somebody drove 100 miles an hour into the back of your vehicle and killed your a family member, would you want the police to interfere?
That's a murder. I mean, that's if someone got killed.
But they're traveling. You can't interfere with somebody traveling.
No, I mean you can't. It's stating that a police just can't interfere with your traveling, like pulling you over for a traffic violation or a tag.
But you
you're
want them
not
to
you can't
interfere if
now
somebody.
if you murder somebody because of
Well, okay.
sovereign.
Say you don't murder them. Say you just hurt them. Say you just damaged the vehicle. You don't want the police to interfere.
No, that because that's when it almost becomes like an accident or a crime or whatnot. So the police can. That's not really an interference. An interference with your traveling, not an interference when two citizens engage in an accident. It's interfering with you just traveling. Now, police officers, as far as public servants, they have a duty to serve to the people. So if a car accident occurs, then of course public servants, as far as ambulance, as far as firemen, they will come to the scene just as a service. But for you to just interfere in my traveling is actually a violation of the Constitution.
Well, sir, the Constitution and the cases that have come out of the constitutional jurisprudence allow cities and states and municipal organizations to regulate travel for the benefit of the citizens. So they can put reasonable regulations on travel, meaning you can have a license. They can grant you the privilege of having a license to drive. They can regulate how your license is seen. If you don't have a license or if your license is suspended, they can intervene to take your license away or your privilege to drive away. It is a crime. You can be convicted of not driving under a proper license. So the government is allowed to intervene in a lot of ways with people traveling. So I'm not sure where this information comes from, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet about traveling and the 14th Amendment and horse and buggies and even maritime law. But
I mean,
an
automobile was actually created before a driver's license.
So after all his rambling about traveling and household goods, The prosecutor finally steps in and tries to bring some sanity back into the room. He calmly explains that, yes, states can regulate driving, and no, the Constitution does not magically erase traffic laws just because someone found a line on the internet. Pretty basic stuff, right? But our sovereign citizen isn't done, not even close. He throws out this wild hypothetical. What if someone was driving 100 miles an hour and killed a family member? That's murder, but they're still just traveling. I couldn't believe it. Imagine trying to argue that police can't pull you over for reckless driving because you were exercising your right to travel. Folks, this guy's lying.
So people was actually operating their case pamphlets where people was actually operating vehicles before a driver's license ever became. That's actually, you guys are actually a conflict of interest, actually, as far as you being in cahoots with the DMV. That's a totally separate entity.
Okay,
And for
so
some reason,
Mr. Resto, do you want to resolve the case? Because it's not
I
going
want
to
to
be
resolve the
40
case.
hours
I
of,
disagree with the fine amount because it changed. I would
It-
pay I would make an offer like I can do $1,000, maybe 12-month probation. But
Mr. Resto,
$2,000, that's excessive.
Mr. Resto, we're not negotiating. Those are statutory fines, meaning they're written into the law. I can't even change them.
Can I make a counter offer to the state and say it's $1,000? That can I be?
No,
Because I did do
sir.
time in jail. If the state would see that
Well,
and count,
That's why I'm saying that you may want to speak with an attorney because certain things that they can negotiate, I can't change the statute. I can't change what's written in it, but they can negotiate. And if the solicitor wants to give you credit for time in jail in lieu of the fine, those are things that they can do that I can't do.
yeah. So I would ask to the district attorney, knowing that I did serve some days in jail, can you guys
Okay,
lower the fine and I just go ahead and end this
so
case right now? I can do 1,000. I got $1,000 right now,
Mr.
and
Mr.
huh?
Resto, so that's a conversation that you need to have with them directly without me being present, number one. Number two, the reason I keep saying you might want to go through your attorney is because they can explain to you what is already on the table and how that may or may not change, okay?
What's on the table now, man?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I would rather you have that conversation in a breakout room with the attorney who's assigned to your case and with the state as opposed to here in the main room. One, because I have other cases that need to be addressed, and two, because that's not information I need to hear.
Okay, is it anything I can do to get this case resolved now? Because it's been lingering on
I'm
my
telling
head
you what to
for
do, but you're
years.
not listening, Mr. Reston. Mr.
I mean,
Resto,
today, like I want to resolve this today.
I get that you want to resolve it today, and I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening to me. I said you can go into a breakout room with your attorney, and the attorney and you can discuss what's already on the table. And then if your attorney wishes to speak with the state to clarify anything, they can do that too. But you're not going to get it resolved by going back and forth with me because there's
Okay.
stuff I cannot do.
Okay. Just tell the state that I'll take their recommendation. I'll just pay the $2,000 if they can give me 12 months to pay it off. And
Okay,
if I
but
can, and if I pay it
sir,
off early, if my probation can be terminated, that would be great.
Logic has more holes than a fishing net. The judge actually tries to reason with him, patiently explaining that licenses, fines, and traffic laws exist to keep people safe. You know, to stop accidents and prevent chaos on the road. But instead of listening, he doubles down. He starts claiming that police, judges, and the DMV are all in cahoots, like some grand conspiracy is out to stop his travels in particular. At this point, I swear, even the courtroom walls look tired. Then comes the comedy gold. He starts negotiating again. He says, and I kid you not, I'll pay $1,000, maybe do 12 months probation, but $2,000 is excessive. This man is out here trying to haggle fines like it's a garage sale. He even asks if he can just swap jail time for money, like it's some kind of trade-in program. The judge, bless her patience, keeps telling him the same thing. Sir, these are statutory fines. I can't change them. They're written into law. But he's not hearing any of it. He just keeps circling back, making counteroffers like he's negotiating over a used car, not a suspended license charge. Finally, after dragging this circus on for way too long, he blurts out that he'll just take the state's recommendation and pay the $2,000 if he can get 12 months to pay it off. And right there, poof, he disappears. Leaves the hearing like he just dropped the mic, the nerve. And here's the kicker. The judge almost certainly issued a bench warrant after that little stunt. So while he thinks he outsmarted the system, in reality, he just dug himself an even deeper hole. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a textbook sovereign citizen meltdown. A man wasting 20 minutes of the court's time refusing to accept reality and walking straight into more trouble than he started with. And that's where it ends. For now. The sovereign citizen walked out thinking he won something, when really all he did was rack up fines, waste the court's time, and probably guarantee himself a bench warrant. It's almost impressive how someone can work so hard to make their own life harder. But here's the thing. This isn't the last we'll see of him. Oh no. He actually shows up for a second hearing later on. And let me tell you, it's even messier than this one. The same nonsense, the same word games, but this time the patience in the courtroom is running out fast. If you thought today's hearing was ridiculous, just wait until you see what he tries to pull next. I'll be posting that full disaster tomorrow, so make sure you're subscribed because you are not going to want to miss it. And before we wrap this one up, I've got a question for you. Do you think this judge was too soft on him, or was she right to let him dig his own hole? Personally, I think she gave him way too much room, but maybe that's just me. Either way, this case is proof of why courts get so backed up. One guy refusing to accept reality can waste an entire morning of hearings. But hey, at least it makes for some entertaining courtroom chaos for us to break down together. So stick around, because part 2 of his saga is on the way, and trust me, it's somehow even worse.